Good morning. So this morning we are going to talk about unavoidable truths and toxic traits because I recently turned 49, and when you spend a decent amount of time on this planet and you take the time to get to understand yourself, sometimes the things that you start to understand, they aren't really bad, but they're so important for you to understand. And I was thinking to myself the other day that right now, in this moment, like the last week especially, I have been more at peace than I have been in years. And I was wondering why. What am I doing differently? What thing has changed? And I figured it out. So I always grew up having lots and lots and lots and lots of friends, which is great when you're young because your needs are relatively small. They're relatively few. I didn't need a lot. I was pretty much a self-sustaining person. So as I have gotten older, I have gotten that big job that I wanted. I never thought I'd go into the career I'm in, but I love it. I work a lot of hours. I have a great marriage and that doesn't take just minimal amounts of time and effort. To have a great marriage, you have to put in a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of effort and keep things fair and equal. So all of these things take a lot of time and effort, right? Well, up until this year, I bounced around, and my husband always went because, we don't do much apart from each other. So all this time, I've had all these friends and spent all this time with my friends and all this. And that's not a bad thing. But it started to be stressful because it was so much. And it was just constant. And it was overwhelming and consuming. Excuse me. I'm cleaning my bathroom. So here we are. Fast forward a few months. And my life is more peaceful than it has been in years, even in the midst of going through the loss of my child, which takes a lot of effort as well. Even with all of that going on, my life is pretty peaceful right now. And I have figured out why. The first thing I figured out is that I am a fantastic friend. I am going to be there for you. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to be supportive. I'm going to be your champion, your cheerleader. I'm going to pick you up on your days where you are low. But then if I start to realize that it's all about you, or that you don't have my best interest at heart, if you don't take the things that I find to be important as important to you, then what are we doing? If I don't, and I'm not saying that we have to have everything in common, but you have to understand as a friend what that person finds important, what that person finds as their priorities, and what that person needs from you. Now, my needs are relatively few. And I'm not talking about friends that are sick or that are in uncontrollable situations. What I'm talking about are these friends that stay in constant turmoil. They stay in situations like with people, boyfriends, husbands, family members, where they are constantly upset. So while they're constantly upset, guess who else is upset? You. I'm talking about the people who insist on being miserable and bring nothing to the table other than needing you as a sounding board for their constant ration of BS. I'm talking about those people, even family members, that only call you when they need something. They can go months without talking to you, months without checking on you, and then all of a sudden they call you and, oh, how are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And then about 5 minutes later, can I get the money to do this? Or can I do that? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that don't bring anything to the table that is in your best interest. No support. These are the kind of people that text you on your birthday. They don't call you. These are the kind of people that when you need somebody, they're scarcely around. I don't have time for that. And I have literally eradicated every one of the relationships that are like that. And I don't mean that I'm not friends with them anymore, but I have put a degree of separation between me and these people to where I'm comfortable and able to not get upset by it anymore. And let me tell you, it's nice. It's empowering. And more than that, it helps me stay stress-free, and it helps me stay not overwhelmed constantly because I'm not upset by everybody else's stuff they've got going on. So my toxic trait is not that I'm a bad friend. I guess if I had a toxic trait, it's that at 49 years old, I finally figured out what my priorities were, and I'm sticking to it. And if the people that I have in my life don't support those priorities, they don't have a very large part of my life. It's really empowering to come to terms with things about you that you never really understood before, because it helps you understand, hey, that's not really a bad thing, but it is a thing.